Hello guys, it's James and we're here for the round 17 footy bets. What a run we've had recently. That was very good round. We're over the $2,000 mark, which is huge. I think we got there I can't remember if we got there last year, or I think we got to maybe 15, 16, 1800, and then it sort of dropped down just before the finals. But this is huge. This is kind of the point of the year where I really sort of, I don't know, the bets land a bit better. I was going to say I pop off, I'm so good, but no, like usually around this time, this is where, like, you know, every player is a bit more consistent. Start of the year, it's role changes, teams are iffy, there's upsets, and then, you know, you slowly, you know, get there. And then it's happened to me the last couple of years where I usually peak this time. But saying that, I don't know, it's happened a couple of times where I'll teeter off towards the back end. I don't know why. Maybe some players will kind of not know they're not making the finals and take their foot off, or yeah, that's when there's upsets at the start of the year, then there's like upsets at the back end of the year where you think the final eight is set, but it's like, I don't know. So every year I usually peak a month or two just before the end of the season. So, and like, I'm kind of at the point where I was like almost wanting to tap out, because like me personally, I'm up almost $10,000, and that is a PB. Like, that is huge. Best I've done is like $3,000. So it's past the point where it's like sort of play money. It's like, oh shit, I'm actually up a decent amount. Maybe I tap out now, but I'll ponder that question this week. Anyway, it's been a great round, and just like how good it's been. This round we were 4 for 6, which doesn't sound like a lot, but one of those games was refunded, so you take that off. So there was 7 games. We're 4 for 6 because that one's not included. But then when you also, those 2 misses go into 2 wins, right? And then, not to even mention, we won the last 2 or 3 of Sunday of last week. So when you look at it as a whole, like, I've got the last 2 games of the Sunday and a bonus bet, like, and then all the wins from this week. And there's the 2 losses there. You can see the Swans Bulldogs game and Hawthorn North Melbourne. Like, just in the last 7 days of footy, Sunday to Sunday, it has been freaking huge. Like, out of those 8 games shown, there's 38 player selections, and I've only got 2 of those wrong. So like, in the last 7 days of footy, you know, excluding that void one on Thursday, 36 out of 38 players have hit. So it's just been, like, yeah, insane. So, and they're just the bets I do on the video. Like, I've done other bets and stuff, personally. Like, I don't like to talk about my other bets or brag about other stuff, but it's like, I don't know. I'm just like, it's been very good, like really good. So I was kind of just tempted to, I don't know, like I said, tap out or give it a rest, or just, anyway, I'll try and come up with an answer for that. But anyway, first game of the round, Port versus Carlton. Also, how good is it? There's only been 2 misses. Like, just look how tiny that is, like 2. And I haven't included Sard, but here he is. Sard missed, he was injured, and it was kind of lucky where, like, again, I don't want to ever hope someone gets injured, but Adam Sard getting injured was probably not going to hit. So for him to get injured before halftime was kind of a saving grace for us. He had 4 kickouts and only played on from 2. Like, Sard does do that. He plays on 66% of the time, which is insanely low for someone who kicks out. Usually people teeter like 80+%. Like, you've got players like, you know, Whitfield or Ryan Marrick back in the day, a month or 2 ago, where like they always playing out, always playing on from the kickouts. So to have Adam Sard just kick it from inside the square, it's no problem because he hits. But yeah, Carlton as a whole were just struggling. Only one player got over 20 posies, and that was George Hewitt. This was a boring as shit game to watch. And as soon as Adam Sard was injured, I kind of tapped out. But oh yeah, and I'm back in Brisbane this week. Obviously, you can tell, same setup. So I'll be back to watching full games. I was back Saturday night. I got to watch all the Sunday games. This one I got to watch half of, kind of, because I was at a friend's. So yeah, once this got to halftime, I kind of tapped out. But Ollie Hollands, Willem Drew, Burgoyne, all very lucky to hit. Could have easily missed. Hollands was on like 4 at halftime as well, or he had 1 posi in the first quarter. Kane Farrell really liked. As soon as Burton was out, he was like one of my locks. Speaking of, I forgot to do the locks just while I've been away. I'll try and sort something out. But there's also, I don't want to always do a lock, but because it's unnecessarily putting like pressure on. I don't know. I like the bet. I don't want to. Sometimes I feel like I don't know. I like all the players in the bet, and sometimes I'll do it if I'm really, really certain on someone, but I feel like annoyed at myself. It's like, oh, if the lock I have missed, like if it's the 4th or 5th leg, it's like, it is what it is. But yeah, when the lock misses, I'm like, oh, it's super annoying because anyway. But yeah, Connor Rosie, I just want to mention as well. I said to someone in the comments where I got to stop maybe being worried about him because when he played in the mid last year, super inconsistent. He could have 30 disposals, 18 disposals, but ever since he's been in halfback, doesn't matter if he got tagged. He got tagged like a week ago against Jordan, still hit. Obviously didn't get tagged in this one. I think Chincotta was on Butters, but it's like Chincotta's not doing that hard of a tag anymore. Rosie and Butters both get 30. So the point is, I really like Rosie off the halfback line. If he's still paying well, I'll take that. But yeah, this one was just not great for, I don't know, to watch or a punting perspective, but yeah, let's move on to the second game. Second game, we have... oh, actually, I did watch this one. I was at Dad's, Sydney versus Bulldogs. This one, like, it was kind of done from the beginning. So, Heaney was very quiet, but I was always confident that he was going to bounce back. I mean, he starred, like, 5 goals, 21 posies, just hit, but yeah, had a great game. Bailey Dale popped off early and then disappeared after halftime. Joel Frazier had arguably one of his best games. Oh, actually, I'm just getting a call from Jono. One sec. All right, I'm back. I just got off the phone with Jono. He can't do tonight, but hopefully we'll be able to record Friday night or Saturday morning. But either way, back to this bet. I can't remember what I was talking about, but I was speaking about Sheldrick just on the phone, and he had 60% game time, which is insanely low. It's the lowest of any Sydney player that's not a sub, and he still got 16. And so I don't know how much of the notes you guys read that I post. Every post for Thursday and Friday games I do, you know, that's not covered by this video. I do the post in the YouTube post section. I write a bunch of notes, and one of the notes for Sheldrick was his posies per minute is like very high. So I think it's like 4 minutes of game time, he gets a posi. And when you think about it, there's 30 minutes a quarter. Like, he has ample time. And I say 30 minutes a quarter, it's real life minutes. So yeah, he's got every chance like to hit, but I just don't think he's there just yet, especially because he was getting like, you know, 70 or 60% game time this week. I just, yeah, might have to hold off on him for now, especially when Goulden's back and Sydney are really trying to win. Maybe it's too late for them, but just keep an eye out when it gets towards the back end of the year and they can't make finals. I feel like they're going to give Sheldrick a really good run, so someone to watch out for because I'm very bullish on him. Riley Sanders, huge. Joel Frazier had his best game. Ed Richards, I don't know if I spoke about him, I'll just say it again. I was super annoyed about the tag because just the week before, I was like, I reckon Ed Richards is going to get the tag from Marcus Windhager, and then it goes to Bont all game. I'm like, oh, that's strange. As if it doesn't go to Ed Richards. Ed Richards is like 3rd in line for the Brownlow, or 4th, or maybe 6th. Maybe I'm giving him too much. But he's very high in Brownlow polling this year. Great form. You know, arguably like most improved player because like he was good last year, but now he's great. Anyway, so when I saw Windhager and Ross Lyon, like the king of tagging, not tag Ed Richards, I was like, oh, okay, maybe Bont. Or I thought Dale was going to get some. Dale was averaging like 33 posies over this last month. Sorry, the camera's all fucked. So I was like, surely it goes to Dale. Surely it goes to Bont. Yeah, went to Ed Richards. So I think some of those games we just got to be careful. If there's someone who is a tagger, I don't like betting on anyone who is, you know, like the top 3 players. And yeah, it's crazy. I'm just thinking about the Freo St Kilda game when there was no tagging. But anyway, so I'm just hesitant on all taggers in future. Anyway, game 3, Suns versus Demons. So this was fantastic. John Noble, like classic. Absolutely love it. I've been bullish on John Noble for 25 a couple of times. I don't know if I'll ever bet on him because we can get him for such good price for 20. if he's paying $1.20 for 20 plus, like he's in my bet. I don't even have to think about it. He is hitting, he's getting a bunch of kickouts, he is hungry, he wants the ball, he's doing everything around the ground. Yeah, last week he had 8 kickouts, this week he had 4, not as much. It was shared a lot more between Powell, Jeffrey, Hewland, Rioli. Sometimes that's the case, but yeah, Noble wants handball received, he wants to switch. Yeah, love Johnny Noble. Took Miller is great, don't think he's missed all year. Harvey Langford, very happy about that. Harvey Langford, again, someone I've been considerate of 20, but when you can get him for a good price for the bracket below, why risk it when, you know, there's other good options? Like, to me, Johnny Noble is like a lock. He's had one stinker this year against Geelong. You can give him the benefit of the doubt. Shit, where the small ground, they had to play more defensive. Yeah, and then he's missed once by 1 posie. So love John Noble. I could just sit here and talk about John Noble all the time. Oh, and actually I forgot to say as well, because remember we lost this bet, the bonus bet goes into these two. So yeah, Fiorini kind of had me a little bit worried. Started out great, had 8 posies in the first quarter. Thought he was done and dusted, but just teed it off a little bit. But you know, sometimes a player like that or someone on the wing can get a bunch of it. If it just keeps going back and forth up the ground on that side, they're going to just rack it up. And a wingman can have no footy in a quarter. It's happened before, like Bailey Williams or Jared Berry's been great. He's almost he's a 20 posie player. But yeah, wingman can have posies and not touch it. So just a little risk about that. Dan Rioli, great. A bit cheap, but we still include him. Jake Bowie. Oh, so this bet is slightly different to that one, just because I mentioned it in the post. Oh no, I mentioned in the video. This was in my video. Dan Rioli and Braden Fiorini significantly dropped in value when I did my bet, and then the time of recording. So I just included Jake Bowie just to get me up to similar odds. Because without him, yeah, it was going to be like 50 cents short or something. So yeah, Fiorini dropped like 15 cents. Anyway, so yeah, that game was great. Moving on to the 4th game. Oh, Hawthorn North. So, man, super annoying. So Caleb Daniel, great, fantastic. I say he's as much of a lock as John Noble is to me. Like, Caleb Daniel is in that team to kick the footy, distribute it. If he's not doing that, he's not getting 20 and he's not in the team. Like, you wouldn't have Caleb Daniel in the team if he's getting 15 posies. It's just, he is there to get 20. Jai Simpkin, he got thrown into the midfield a bit late when Wardlaw was out, which, you know, helped him. I feel like he's still capable of hitting 15. Maybe I just got to be a bit more hesitant when a top team is playing him. Jarman Impey, great. As soon as I switch off Amon, I've been bullish on Amon all year, right? You guys know me. I've bet on Amon like every game. Even when he misses, I'll bet on him. As soon as I don't, because I do see a couple of comments saying people are sort of done with Amon, I'm like, all right, I sort of won't include him. Best on ground for Hawthorn, 33 posies. That's the thing. Like, I know a player missing 2 in a row might be a bit off-putting, but Carl Amon's going to average over 20. He's going to average probably like 22, 23 posies for the year. So he's going to hit more 20s than he's going to miss. I guess the only cause for concern was he didn't get many proper disposals. He got some kickouts, he got some free kicks, took advantage, all that shit. But yeah, Carl Amon looked back. And Impey too. How did Impey go in the kickouts, actually? Impey took only 1. Yeah, 7 was to Amon. Holy heck. Yeah, anyway, so I do like Impey, especially for his price. I think we got him for over $1.30. Great. Oh, Luke Parker. I think he's had 2 misses for the year for 20. So 15 was very conservative, but he is looking great. And it kind of goes into the next point. Like, Caleb Daniel is in the team to kick it, right? Luke Parker came to North Melbourne to help the young kids out. And I feel like something in the chats on the negotiation was like, all right, Luke Parker, you're coming to help the kids, and you're also going to play a full year in the mids, because it hasn't happened now. It's not going to happen until next year. I thought Luke Parker was going to get maybe phased out when Wardlaw came back, or even just phased out a third through the year or something. Like, just help the young boys get a lot of the footy, and then he'll play in half forward. But yeah, he's getting 29 posies when players like Tom Powell had a stinker. Harry Sheasel is being left in the half forward line to get his footy, so he was lucky to get 20. Don't get me wrong, there's games where Sheasel can pop off. If he's on the mid or half back, yeah, great. But it's just baffling to me. Like Sheasel, right? Sheasel, he had high-ish CBAs towards the start of the year, then none midway through the year because he was playing half back. Then it kind of, his CBAs went up, and then they went down again because he's in the forward line. I was like, it's wild. And then his CBAs were inflated a little bit because, you know, him and Simkin took George Wardlaw's position when he got injured. I think it was just before halftime. Anyway, the point is, like, Sheasel is such a great kick. I don't know why he is not, like, I know they want some good inside 50 entries or something, but you're going to get pumped by North. Like, he should be on ball. He should be helping out. Or even, and Colby McKercher, he's playing well in the half back line, but he's kind of butchering it a bit. But anyway, the point, North, I feel like, is so erratic with where they're playing people. I thought they had their team sort of locked and they weren't going to do any more changes, but yeah, anyway, a little bit frustrating, but thankfully we're able to take that miss and go into the bonus bet with the Collingwood West Coast game. Now, this one was huge. I usually never do anything like over $4, but yeah, this one, I did this one accidentally, right? I included Jack Crisp when I shouldn't have, and I said it in the video. I said I bet with him selected. I was supposed to unselect him, but I was like, I've already done it. So I like to ride the bets I've already done. I don't like to sort of add any changes. I don't like to adjust it in any way. I like to ride what I've already selected because I've spent like probably like half an hour to an hour like researching these players before I actually do the bet. Doesn't sound like a lot of time, but I just know these players like in and out. So I just double check their time on ground, double check where they're playing, who's going to be anyway. But yeah, so I thought, why not? Let's just include it, and it was huge and it hit. So that was fantastic. Nick Dacos, I knew he was just going to absolutely just take the mickey, and he wants 3 Brownlow votes, and he's probably going to get them for that game. And you could tell all the Collingwood boys wanted to give him the footy. Even when he's not on, they're handballing it to him. He's screaming for the footy. Once handball receives, once 1-2, once shitty little over the back. Like, Nick Dacos just wants the footy. Player like that, get in the bet, and especially against West Coast. Like, I'm surprised West Coast, you know, were winning for like half the game. I think that was the first time they won quarter 1 and 2. Or anyway, great performance by them. But yeah, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day because Nick Dacos was just going to do what he liked. Their midfield is just way better than West Coast. So Tom McCarthy taking a bunch of kickouts for them. He is almost going to break the Supercoach record for the biggest price increase. I don't know if you guys care about that, but if he scores over 107 in Supercoach, he's going to break the record for the biggest initial price increase, which is crazy. Only took 4 kickouts, 3 were disposals. Big drop off from 10, but again, what is great, he had 3 kickouts. The other 26 are from around the ground. Fantastic. Loves a run and dash. He's probably not going to be any value for 20 next week, so we got him at a good price, even though it's his second game. That's insane. But I might take a break from him if he's probably going to be under $1.20 for 20 plus, and I don't want to bet on him for 25, even though he's hit both weeks. Like, just, I don't know. I'm bullish on him, but not that bullish. Lipinski, fantastic. Half forward, rotating mid wing, seems like a no-brainer against West Coast. And Jack Crisp, he's a little bit roller coaster. He can have huge games. I think he had a huge game against West Coast. Was it? No, they haven't played him. Was it last year? He had a great game against West Coast. Anyway, the point is, I'm saying he has great games, but then his shit games, he'll still get 15 posies. So I think he's only missed like once or twice in the last 2 years. So Jack Crisp has been very consistent. Yeah, I was very happy with these selections. And the crazy thing was, I was leaving Geelong at halftime. I'm in the plane and I can't check until like, quarter past 11 at night. So by the time I land, the plane lands, I'm like, fuck, let me see if we won. We did, so that was great. So very happy to win that bet very happy to win that bet, but I didn't realize until like an hour later. Game of the Sunday, first game of Sunday, Richmond at Adelaide. This one, I thought this one, we got lucky on 2 occasions, right? The first one, Josh Rochelle, how does he get subbed? I understand they're up by a lot. They don't want to risk him. They also subbed Rankin against Essendon earlier in the year. They might sub a forward when there's no reason for them to get injured or play. I get it. But 2 goals won before half time, Thank God he kicked those 2 goals. And that second goal he kicked, like, let's be real, I think that was touched, but our video review system is so shit you couldn't pick it up. So got bailed out there. That was so lucky. Then the other one was Isaac Rankin. 16 and half time. 16 posies. You're like, oh, well, this bet's done. I can move on to watch Freo and Saints. Nope. Isaac Rankin got 3 in the third, and then he just needed 1 posie in the last quarter. I don't think he got it until 10 minutes to go, and then he didn't get one after that. He got 1 posie in the last. So I thought he would pop off and have like a 25-3 game against Richmond, but so yeah, he had 20 posies and a goal. So like that's great, but yeah, I thought he was gonna just tear him apart. Hopper, fantastic. I had almost no questions about him. He got a 19 the week before, and similar to Crisp, I think he's had like, I check all these stats before I do it, but this is all off the dome. I'm pretty sure he had like 1 or 2 misses. I think 2 including last week over the last 2 years. Like Hopper has been insanely consistent for 20 plus. And Sam Banks, I actually did another bet with him for 20 because I was bullish on him for 20, but I was like, I'll do 15 here just to be conservative. We're at a good price. Fuck yeah, he killed it. And he missed 20 last week because against Bulldogs. Bulldogs just overran them. And I thought Adelaide would, I thought Adelaide would win comfortably, but not overrun them to the extent Bulldogs did, even though the score is very similar. But yeah, Sam Banks looked great. Yeah, have to consider him for 20 again coming up, even though we did 15. Yeah, this game was great. Anyone else that we needed to touch on? Oh, unlucky about Taranto, missing by 1. I saw a lot of people had him in the comments who just missed. I would have probably bet on Taranto for 20 if like I wasn't so bullish on Hopper. Like I don't like taking a lot of people from the same bracket. So I had Hopper and I was bullish on Rankin. So then I move on to another bracket. So yeah, I could have easily bet on Taranto that game. Last game for the round, Freo versus St Kilda. Speaking of lucky games, the one before, this one came down to the wire. I know a lot of you guys watched that. We chat in the Discord or the YouTube comments. Shy Bolton got that last posie with, I don't know, was it like 20 seconds to go or 30 seconds to go? St Kilda, someone kicked a goal. It's just a blur now. I just remember Sarong getting it from the centre bounce and handballing it to Bolton. And Sarong was this close to just kicking it long. He was running with it, and I'm like, fucking give that to Bolton. And then he handballs to Bolton. Bolton kicks it in. I think that's when like Amos kicked a goal or whatever. I don't care. Like Bolton got that. We were lucky in the first place, right? Bolton gets CBAs every now and then. Thank God it was kind of clutch. If Freo were up by a lot or Freo were down, Shy Bolton could have easily been resting half forward because Shy Bolton barely, he's only done it once this year. He's gone over 50% CBAs. This was the second time he's gone over 50%, and it was 52%. So he's just, like, the point is, Shy Bolton doesn't have that many CBAs, and for him to have the last one of the game and get that posie was fucking great way to cap off the week. So that was huge. Mason Wood, I was very not bullish on. I was happy to take that risk because if Mason Wood's playing on the wing, he's going to get anywhere between like 13 and 16 posies. Of late, he's been getting anywhere between 15 and 16. So he's a player I'm betting on knowing it's going to come down to the wire. Whereas someone like, there's no one really from, and I'll speak about Windhager in a second, but someone, or like Banks in that last bet. Banks, I'm like, he's going to hit maybe like 3/4 time. Mason Wood, I'm expecting him to hit in the last minute, which he did. He missed the mark, and I'm like, oh, well, he's not going to get it. And anyway, he kicked it inside 50 late. So he hit it, which was great. Windhager started a little bit quiet, but he's been fantastic. If he's tagging, he's getting 15, 16, 17 posies. If he's not tagging and playing his own game like that, which he did, playing on the wing or just coming in and helping the mids every now and then, stoppages, yeah, he's having a 20 plus posie game. So that was great. I thought he was going to be tagging, to be honest, but I think he started a little bit quiet because I was kind of flicking between the Richmond game because Rankin was about to miss. Anyway, but yeah, Windhager came home strong, and he had 2 almost concussions and still, like, he's a tough boy. So I like Windhager, despite him ruining some of my favorite players. And Wanganeen Miller, he has got to be my favorite comeback player, like, ever. It's happened 3 times now. I think one was he did his ankle. I'm pretty sure it was against Carlton, maybe 3 months ago, 2 months ago. One was where he got the head knock against Melbourne 3-4 weeks ago. And then he did it again. All those games, he's been like under, or he's been off the ground for a lot of the time. The head knock, he was off the ground for like a whole quarter. This one, he just started slow. So he had his normal game time, but 3 posies at quarter time. Like, I was worried, but I'm like, no, he'll get there. He's had some big quarters. Like, he has had 10 posies in 10 minutes at one stage. Wangini Miller, they want the ball in his hands. Like, he's not as hungry as the Dacos, and I know he's like different role, he's half back, like, but he gallops across the ground and he'll just lace out targets. Yeah, he might have a turnover here or there, but like, he's still just, he is a very good player. So I like Marcus, I like Wangini Miller. So yeah, that was fantastic. So anyway, that's the recap. I'll do this betting thing with Jono Friday night or Saturday morning. So we'll have the post ready, but why I'm saying this doesn't matter, because by the time this video is up, it'll be Saturday. So again, thank you all so much for the comments, the likes, the chatting in the Discord, all that. Like I said, I'm back in Brisbane this week, so I'll be able to be a bit more interactive with all that chat, because yeah, I'll be here. I'm going to be watching a lot of footy this week, and yeah, hopefully we have more wins to come. Anyway, I'll chat to you guys next time. All right, peace. All right, guys, we're here for the bets for round 17. We're here again with Jono for the first time in a while. We're
back!
Yay! It's good to be here recording again with Jono. We'll do for the Saturday, Sunday games. We've missed there was 2 games last night, so again, we'll go through all that in the review process. But we're here.
3 games already gone.
Yeah, exactly, which kind of made my workload just a little bit easier. But this is a great time to mention. Well, my workload was actually fucked the last night, because you guys have all said in the comments and noticed, look what we have here. We have 10 posi bracket. We have 12, 14, 15, 16, 18. Like, what the fuck are we looking at here? So we'll get into it, but I'm going to preface this and say that all these extra options are something. It's not. You want to have more variety. You don't want to be adding more legs, because bookies love it when you add more legs, when you add more chances of risk and failure and increase your rolling probability. So this is just a great way to use this form guide and try and still find the players that we really like, who are 9, 10 out of 10, averaging well above their bracket, $1.20. Look, my bet is still like anywhere between 3, 4, 5, 6 legs and $3 to $4 odds, but just want to get that out of the way. This is not an opportunity to just, let's throw more players on because we can let's.
Bookies don't give away free money.
Yeah.
They've done this for a reason. So
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Bookies aren't just going to be like, well, our customers are not making enough money. They want to just keep you in here, make more money themselves. They're a profit business at the end of the day. So, but
we can use it to our advantage if we just can stay and use it in controlled manner. So,
exactly. Yeah. And this is our first time doing this, so this will be I'm very interested to see how we go. And as you can see, for our first bet of Saturday, Essendon versus Gold Coast, we've already branched out into only one player is from the original bracket. Otherwise, we've branched out. But I don't know how we're going to structure this. We'll go through. We'll try not to ramble on too much. But it's kind of interesting as well, because Jono, how often do we talk about Jaden Laverde?
That's probably the one thing I'd say is now we can start to really deep dive into our knowledge of players and stuff like that. Jaden Laverde is now an option.
I know,
that's pretty cool.
That is so weird. And I mean, speaking of, let's get into it. John and I will sort of figure out maybe which brackets to jump into or who to talk about. But
this is we'll get better next week, guys. But
we're working through this. But Jaden Laverde has only had, I think it was 2 misses this year. We're just going to be doing this on the fly because there's so many players to remember and check. Actually, for 12, it was only 1 miss this year. And yes, Jordan Ridley is back, but I still think Jaden Laverde has plenty of opportunity to get the footy. He's averaging 17.6 posies. He's well over his bracket at the moment, just that 1 miss. So I think against Gold Coast Marvel, he's got every chance to get it's 12 posies. So yeah. Actually, and another player I like in the back line, Bodie Yuland, I really like for 15, but I could just never quite bet on because I'm betting on players like John Noble, my favorite, but when I can bet on Bodie Yuland for 12, for $1.30, and he's had I'm pretty sure, yeah, Bodie. I checked all these last night, guys. I was up till like 5 a.m. last night trying to get this sorted.
He was up 4 hours ago.
Yeah. He has had 1 miss for the year.
Nah, Bodes is, and against that Essendon forward line, it's going to be marks galore. So
yeah, his 1 miss has been 12 posies. Like, this is already our first 2 options are just so unique and players that we wouldn't really consider.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Dan Rioli has only had 1 miss this year, and it was against his former club. I think it was actually at Marvel. So yeah, he's had 1 miss, and that was 11 posies. Otherwise, he's fine. I mean, he's not setting the world on fire with his disposals and run up half back, but he's getting the footy, and that's all we're asking him to do. Xavier Dersma, who actually got injured with his hamstring in the Freo game 2 weeks ago, he was on 11 posies at halftime and missed. So 16 posies for Dersma is actually very achievable because he was always too short for 15, and it's the same case with Fiorini. Both of them on the wing, they might actually play on each other a bit here, but Fiorini has only had 1 miss this year, and like, look at all these plays that we can get, all 9 out of 10, all great chances of hitting.
Yeah, love them all. Like, it's very interesting that we can this is all now in play. We can't really, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to utilize the famous Goldie pick because I don't trust Ned Moyle.
Yeah, so. True, actually. I don't know if you watched the gun or Friday thing. He put Goldie in the gun. David King
oh no!
Yeah, he's like, Goldie needs to live. What's he doing? How's he getting these games? Anyway, so he's going up against Ned Moyle. That'll be interesting. I can't see Ned Moyle like getting 15, but yeah, it's a good point to remember for the future Essendon games.
Don't worry, we haven't forgotten about Goldie.
No. But yeah, as you can see here, we've got Laverde and Bodie Hewland highlighted in the 12 posi brackets. Like, we're not going to stop and chat about every bracket. We're just going to, we're going to highlight.
I think we've got it. We'll think about it, but maybe we'll think about this next week.
Yeah. Jaden Laverde there as well. 9 out of 10 for 14 plus posies. Ben Hobbs, I mean, I liked it when the midfield wasn't as stacked where there was no Caldwell, and I know Parrish is out.
Durham's back though.
Durham is back. Yeah, Ben Hobbs will help out in the mid there, but Zach Merritt should be back in the mid. I don't know if that halfback experiment is over, but yeah, I'd rather bet on someone who
Hobbs is a sub risk as well.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. 15 posi bracket. So Braden Fiorini and Dan Rioli. Well, Dan Rioli we actually took. I love anything over $1.20. I feel like that is great value. And Braden Fiorini goes from 10 out of 10 to 9 out of 10, and he goes up to $1.28. So I think that is pretty good.
Yeah.
This is so weird. Like, we're just scrolling through all the brackets. It's
kind of hard now because it was like 15, 20, 25s. Move on.
Yeah. And usually I'd sort of throw to you like who to chat about or who do you like here. But I also don't want to just be highlighting just heaps of players for the hell of it. I kind of want to try and keep the highlights minimal. So
that's all right. We'll figure. I feel like I'm good to like say the ones I don't like and the ones I do like, kind of thing. I feel like that's where its brackets are going to be more difficult. But what's up? Let's look at Archie. Archie's 9 out of 10 for 8 out of 10 for 20s.
Yeah.
I
like him, and he played really well when Ridley was back and Redmond were all together. I know Redmond's not back this week, but he plays better. I feel like when all the squad's there helping him.
Yeah, exactly. Matt Rao, currently the informed midfielder of the comp, but has been playing in a little bit of wet games and stuff lately. So in the Marvel, obviously it's a bit drier. Maybe it's a bit too fast for him. So I'd be wary on Matt Rao this week. I think. Yeah,
nice. 25, I was actually did I not include him? No, I was very tempted for Noah Anderson. He's been huge as well, just like, Matt Rao. But Noah Anderson, I still feel like can get 25. I mean, even if Will Setterfield's on him, I think it's only just the decent tags. I'm pretty sure off the top of my head, excuse me, this 19 was like the Gold Coast game where they really limited him, and the 21 was Sydney. But yeah.
The Jimmy Jordan.
Yeah. So otherwise, I like Noah Anderson. I've also got the 30 posi bracket, but I only have a couple of players here. I'm not that interested in any for 30. There's only been like 1 or 2 times I've included someone for 30 this year, and it's been Smith and Nick Dacos. You've got to be pretty up there to get a 30 plus, in my opinion.
Yeah. The only goal kickers, I don't like any for singles, really. The only one I'd probably like Ben King for 2, but I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But if you're considering someone, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, actually, and that's something I might have to, we'll have to look at as well. Maybe where this goes in the form guide. But yeah, anyway, so there's a lot to chat about here. But I mean, we'll try and keep it to the players in our bet. Also, just maybe a little back of house thing, just where we'll try and figure out. This is maybe how we'll look at it and structure it. Right, we take because there's so much data now to look at, right? So many player information. So maybe sort it by form, and then sort it by. So this here is their 10-game average minus what we're asking them to get. So obviously, the higher they're averaging, then their bracket is great, right? And then we have it by odds. So here, Laverde is the first $1.20 player who's 9 out of 10. He's averaging 5.6 more. So if you go to his 17.6, he's averaging 5.6 more than 12, what we're asking to get. So this is how we can kind of try and help find the players of good value, good form, where we're typically not going to look, right? Because I've never really looked or considered Jaden Laverde before. But yeah, little back house stuff. Is there anyone else you want to talk about before we move on? Or
no, there's not actually anyone else. Like, I'm trying to think, like, just with their ins and outs and stuff today. Like, we all know Essendon's backline is weak. I still don't like it enough. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the rest of it, I think.
Yeah, so, nice. Well, again, we'll move on to the next one, and hopefully we'll try and get a consistent structure going on. Onto the Richmond-Geelong game. We have our bet up here. And this one is actually pretty standard because we've kept 3 of the 4 players from a classic bracket. We've got Grindmires for 20, Holmes for 25, Smith for 30. And you'll probably notice as well, all of them missed in their last game.
And one of the worst games.
Yeah, they played against Brisbane at home. They didn't rock up, or they all played pretty poorly, except Jeremy Cameron for Dangerfield's 350th. So I feel like all of them have the chance to step up against Richmond. And we saw it last week or the week before where Bulldogs just pants Richmond. Richmond are kind of just a walkover at the moment, especially like against these like top 4 sides. I think Geelong will just absolutely pants them at home. And the last one to include Sam Banks. I've been bullish on him for 20 posies, but I just would like a little bit a safer option. 15, he's not paying anything, but when you can get Sam Banks for 18, he's had 1 miss this year. He is looking like a budget Dan Houston, but I'm saying a Dan Houston from Port Adelaide. He took like a handball received from 50 out.
Not the Dan Houston at Collingwood that's getting 9 touches a game.
No, I'm sorry. Dan Houston at Collingwood is not the same person at the moment, but Sam Banks, he took like a handball received from 60 or 50 out on the fly, just kicked it. Like, they just want the ball in his hands, distributing. He is looking fantastic. So him to keep going. Anyone else you want to talk about? We'll go through each other highlights.
I like it. I think it's a great idea to highlight. Sorry. It's a great idea to target these guys here, especially like Brian Myers. We were there. He's one of the best kicks in the comp. Have we ever seen a guy kick a ball worse that night?
He's only going to improve. He's not going to get worse than 50.
He can't get worse than that game. So,
and Brian Myers is going to average over 20 for the year. Same with Holmes. Holmes is going to average 25. Smith is going to average over 30.
And we've said this, but Richmond, they're not. Their tagger is McIntosh even fucking playing?
Oh, he was sub last week, starting sub. So I mean, he could, but I don't know how much of a hard.
Tag but it's not a hard tag. We all know that. And then it's like they're going to roll with Prestia, Taranto, and Hoffa. Not exactly speed demons in that fucking midfield. So I like the what do they call them, the Dash brothers, to just fucking raffle it.
Yeah. So, no, I think Holmes and Smith. We'll just have fun with it.
You had Seth Campbell.
Yeah. Again, this is it's just so weird, right? Seth Campbell never been on my betting radar at all. But when I did this form guide, for 10 posies, he's only missed twice this year. He got an 8 posie game and a 9 posie game, so he's always close. So for 10 out of 10 in his last 2.5 months, $1.20, I really like that. Just the only thing that just didn't quite get in there for me is I'm very bullish on players coming off a miss who I think are going to average well over their bracket. Yeah. And Seth Campbell, just sometimes with a low I don't know if anyone's bet on NBA, rebounds or assists. Sometimes for low brackets, it's either it's Sam Banks might get 2 posies a quarter or something, and what I like about disposal brackets is they slowly build up over the game. What I hate about goal scorer brackets is you have like one striking chance. Like Seth Campbell is maybe just not going to have as many opportunities. I know it's 10 out of 10, but he's against Geelong at GMHBA. It's the only thing sort of on my mind.
It's especially that narrow ground. Like Geelong, it is hard. It's players that struggle to get the ball struggle even harder at Geelong.
Yeah.
Is the way I'd say, just because of the way that ground is.
Yeah.
If you can't get the ball, like have it on the string, then you're definitely not going to have it on the string at Geelong.
Yeah. So someone I've highlighted, but just didn't quite have that confidence. But I mean, this is great. Like the form guide shows, hey, here's a player here that's screaming out $1.20, 10 out of 10. Consider them. We considered them, and then we'll
9s and 10s, and in the orange and yellow or greens, like fuck, there's very good reason to include them, guys.
Exactly. There's a lot popping up, and like here, Nathan Broad again, someone
a guy we've never bet on.
No, never. But yeah, when you look at him, I think he had 2 misses for the year. I keep because a lot of these players, right? I have their information just stored in my brain, but I don't have fucking Nathan Broad's disposals. I don't have Seth Campbell's disposals in my brain. Nathan Broad has missed 12 3 times this year. So, but he's only missed once in the last. What the heck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the last 3 months. So yeah, Nathan Broad for 12. You're not asking much for one of your veterans of the club. So again, great pick.
I'm just checking something, just a bit of it. Not a question without notice. Where is Broad? And he pops up for 1 or 2 kick-ins a week.
Yeah.
So.
And like that's all. It's so wild. Like it is so wild what we're asking for.
And there'll be a lot of fucking kick-ins this week for Richmond.
Yeah, it is going to be raining just, Geelong scores, goals, points. Yeah, it's 14 bracket. I've highlighted none, but already you can kind of see there's a couple of players popping up. Ollie Dempsey, Nankervis, some players that I like for 15, but just maybe just take 1 posie off. It's like the tab. If your player misses by 1 posie, you still win. Well, it's like we can do that now. We can select them for like.
I really like Nank on that one.
Yeah. I like Nank too. Going up against just Stanley.
Gonna beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, like and I'm trying not to highlight like everyone I see. I mean, Sean Manor, 9 out of 10 in the $1.20, but he had look, a lot of Geelong had a stinker last week, so I don't want to fully write him off because he's had a good year. Look, I could highlight Manor and Nank, but yeah.
I'd highlight Nank. Highlight Nank, sorry, but Manor, he needs to show first. Okay. That was disgusting.
Only reason he's had a good year, so he's got brownie points in the bank for me, but yeah, just did not show against Brisbane. And I'm pretty sure John and I were at the game. I think he got like 1, 2 posies at halftime. Yeah, barely touched it. So the team was generous.
He didn't start touching until the game was fucking dead. It's like. Obviously, they're playing Richmond, so like fuck. So
yeah, you'd think he'd pop, but that's the thing. So just back on Sean Manor, I thought he would be a lock for 15 in his second last game, and that was against Essendon where they beat them by 100 points. Like even in a blowout, he still doesn't just. Yeah. I need to see more from Manor as well.
Yeah.
15 plus. Bunch of options. Lawson Humphries actually I like, but.
Ball might not be down there.
Oh yeah, true. Actually, yeah. Sometimes a lot of the backmen miss against West Coast and Richmond. 16 plus. I mean, we're going to show you a form guide, but we might just pause it so you guys can look at it, have a suss, and then we don't want to chat about every bracket.
It's just too much there.
Yeah. We spoke about Sam Banks. I've been super bullish on him. Literally looks like a budget Dan Houston. I say budget Dan Houston because he could easily just be that role. But for now, we're just watching him grow.
The 2 Richmond midfilders. I'm just like I'd be limiting. Yeah. I know. I'd be limiting how much. I'm limiting amount of Richmond players I have in the bet. That's why I think we've got a nice mix. The Sam Banks one I like more than them 2, but just 1 Richmond. The 3 Geelong I like.
Actually, that's probably a good. I might bring this up in the video next week. I saw a couple of comments and stuff of just random amalgamations of bets and who to pick. I feel like the bets we do are also dependent on the game. We're not asking Richmond forwards to get a bunch of the footy at the moment. We're asking Geelong mids to bounce back because they're no doubt going to pump them, and we're asking a backman player from Richmond to get the footy. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
But we'll go into that next week. And as John was saying about the Richmond mids, it's going to be hard for them to get the footy. They're paying a good price. Look, I don't think Geelong will tag, but the option is there just to shut them out and just put their foot down.
Honestly, they could. What's the name? O'Shea Mullen.
I'm pretty sure they're both playing.
Yeah, and he doesn't do much other than tag at the moment. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of his one wood, and like maybe Chris Scott will be like, "Oh, just go do what you like. Just gives him his role, and that's it." So
And exactly, it's essentially just Geelong training for the finals. Like, don't rock up to this thinking it's an easy win. Everyone do your role that you will be doing in finals.
Yeah, exactly. And they'll be like, "Well, Oshie Mullen, we're not going to just let Oshie Mullen run around and be a midfielder today." They're like, "Well, no, you're in finals. You're going to be a tagger, so practice tagging."
Today. Yeah, Geelong is a professional club. I don't think you're just going to piff players out there and just not do a role or anything. So that's
and they've got their debutant today and everything like that. So like, yeah, who's a forward pocket, I believe. So they're going to be trying him stuff, but I think it's literally swap and replace players. Like they all know what they need to do.
Yeah, and as we said as well, I feel like Geelong will pump them. So it's like these poor midfielders, Taranto and Hopper, are just, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to get bullied today. Holmes, I like for 25. We've included him, but don't be scared by the 5 out of 10 because a lot of that, he has just popped off in the last 2 months, right? So he's had 2 misses. The Brisbane game, which again, we've given a lot of Geelong players just an out because a lot of them had a blip. When the whole team has a horrendous miss, you can attribute to them bouncing back or not really worry about it too much. And his other miss recently, 22 was against Port, so he would have had Bergman on him in that stretch of 2 months. I'm ignoring a lot of these. He's also just now looking to be a strong mid. Really like Holmes. Anyone you speak about? Your boy Bailey Smith, you reckon he can bounce back?
Yeah, definitely. No tag today. Like, Nick's popped off the last couple of weeks since Bailey's been on bye. So, like, at the Brownlow, so if Bailey wants to keep touch with this Brownlow, he probably needs to have a big game again today.
Yeah, I think so too. Bailey Smith, this is like the best form he's ever been in. And obviously taking a lot of opportunities now, being the star mid at Geelong. But he is in a position where he can win the Brownlow. You got to go hard this last month or before the end of the round.
The other thing I'd say, we were there. He kicked like shit. He still got it 28 fucking times.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like Brisbane were not bringing the heat. Like I can't imagine Richmond are going to be able to match the tackling intensity of Brisbane did 2 weeks ago. Like if he only needs 2 more touches and he had a horrible game.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Exactly. No, cool. All right, we'll move on to the next one. So that is the Saturday night game, which I'll actually be at. Brisbane versus Port. Again, look at this bet. This is the option we can get with this, right? So I spoke in the Discord when people first brought this up about the different brackets. For me, just because I'm a Brisbane guy, I have eyes for him. Jared Berry was one of the first players to come to mind because Jared Berry has lost all his value in 15 plus because he is one of the few wingers that can, average 20 posies for the year. Wingers teeter on 15, maybe whatever. But yeah, Jared Berry is getting a lot of it, and 18 bracket for him, I just was screaming out. And also, look at this. They're all 10 out of 10, except Dunkley, who's missed by 1 posie 2 weeks ago. Just look at the consistency of these players we're able to get. Burgoyne for 15, Fletcher for 16, Berry 18, Dunkley 20, Connor Rosie for 25. Anyone you want to mention?
I like Jasper Fletcher. Darcy Gardner coming back in. Does that impact him going out? Probably not.
Well, I think yes, and there's no Bruce Reville, so I think Fletcher will play more wing. But that's I'm happy taking that risk because when Fletcher's played wing, he's still had 20 plus posi games. So Fletcher, I'm looking at Berry. He got it last week. But even if Fletcher's on the wing, I think he's still a great chance for 16.
Yeah, okay, I think that's fair. Dunks will do his thing. Rosie will be interesting where he plays.
I replied to someone in the YouTube comments last week that I got to stop being so worried on Connor because I never liked him in the mid for 25. If he's in halfback, I think he's almost just an absolute lock. But if he's struggling, they might put him in the mid. He's in great form at the moment. I think he's had a great stint in halfback where he's just getting the footy no matter where he plays.
Well, so last week he was back to his halfback, right?
Yeah, he played 1 week where he got a lot of CBAs.
Yeah, but even then, okay, it's probably the perfect mix. The week he went to 90 CBAs, right? He still kicked in.
Yeah, he was going everywhere up the ground. I think he had a scoring shot too. He's doing very well.
It's not the worst thing if he goes in that fucking midfield. Obviously he's fine. So
yeah. Burgoyne, who actually kind of had a stinker, who's had a very great year, and his stinker was 15 posies out in the wing against Carlton. I thought he would have got a lot more of it, but yeah, I really like Burgoyne, and if his bad game is 15 posies, yeah, I think he'll definitely bounce back and get somewhere between 17, 18, 19 posies.
Yeah, no real hard. Well, Bergman will go to Lockie Neal, you'd think.
Yeah,
So,
and yeah, I don't think it's going to anyone in question. I think it would, or it could be Hugh McCluggage. I know he's having a fantastic year.
That one as well. Like just for speed wise, they can match each other. But
Exactly,
yeah,
they're both outside players.
Yeah, and then other side Brisbane, like Willem Drew, not going to impact, and other side no taggers. So.
Actually, speaking of, Willem Drew is someone, because I like him for 15. Like I haven't included him, but we'll get to him. He's in a different bracket at the moment. But
we can get going. We'll just go to the Blues, yeah.
Yeah. It's just very crazy. Like Harris Andrews is just like 5 cents.
We are not betting on Harris Andrews.
It's so wild. Like, I mean, a key defender who's going to spoil it more than he touches it. Like, he's so close to getting into my consideration, but we're close. Actually, another defender, but more your Darcy Wilmot sort of role is Noah Ainsworth. 9 out of 10, $1.30. He's one miss in his last 10 games. Has been 11 posies, super close. And as a Lions fan, someone I've often considered for 15 plus posies, but just as like a blip, as like I reckon he might get it this week. But now, if we can reduce that to 12 plus posies, I think that's a great chance. And it's the same with Leicester. These guys off halfback who don't thrive off sort of getting the footy.
They're defensive shutdown men.
Like, yeah. But they are great because, it's a great chance for them to get a bunch of the footy there. So, 2 to highlight there. I'm more bullish on Ainsworth than Leicester. 14 plus, we spoke about Will Drew. If you can take off 1 posie for Will Drew, I think that's great because I usually like a player who can average, 3 to 5 posies more than the bracket I'm asking them to get. Willem Drew averaging 17 posies, and we're asking for 14. So I think that is just enough buffer. It just wasn't quite enough for me for 15, but for 14, I think it's great.
Yeah.
Zach Bailey, Darcy Wilmot, just highlighting a lot of the options. Again, we're not going to we're almost going to be talking about every player on the field at this rate. So
yeah, I know. We've just got to keep it going.
Yeah, we'll keep it going. Levi Ashcroft, he did pop off against Geelong, but just be careful because he has lost that wing role to Fletcher because Fletcher is now out of the back line because Starcevic is back. So just...
And we could see what happened 2 weeks ago when that happened.
Exactly. So I was at that game where he got 11 posies. He didn't look any chance of getting 15. The Geelong game, though, I want to see how Levi Ashcroft goes for like the next 2-3 weeks when he's playing more half forward. So highlighting, but not betting on. Kane Farrell, Burgoyne, Drew, all players that I've bet on in the past. You know the story with them. I think they're all great options.
Yeah.
Is there anyone... Also, if there's anyone you want to speak about, literally just cut me off because I feel like it's hard
No, there's no one that, this... Like, Butters, I like Butters is a great one.
Let's get into those brackets. I tell you what's good about this, at least. I can put 20 plus posi brackets on screen and we can see almost to the 30s. So it's great. This is actually a good screen.
Yeah, so I do like Butters a lot, but where is he actually?
I haven't highlighted him, but I could.
He's been in good form lately. Those early misses, he's just a little fucking machine in there. But would I put him in against over the Rosie, the other guys we've got in there? No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, or when you can get Josh Dunkley, who's $1.32, 9 out of 10. He has had 3 misses in 2 years of footy. Yeah. So, I'm definitely going to consistent.
And he'll get a nice little taste. He'll probably get Willem Drew, I imagine. And it's just it'll be Willem Drew probably, and it'll just be a fucking feast in there. He might be a bit quick in there for him, but I think if he's on Willem Drew, he'll just fucking.
Are you talking about Dunkley? Sorry.
Yeah, it might be, but if they're rolling the fucking Butters, Horn Francis, Rosie kind of mix, which I doubt they'll put Rosie in there.
It'll be, I think, Butters or Hornet. Butters or Drew, but Butters is very quick and crazy, and I think Dunkley can.
He might get Hornet when Hornet comes in there for a bit too.
I think they're more body for body, but Hornet's playing a bit more bit more forward at the moment.
Yeah, I'd expect Hornet to start to up those midfield minutes, especially once Brisbane get dominance. They're going to have to start chucking him in there. So because I think we're both expecting Brisbane to pull away here.
Well, I hope so, but they've had a couple of bad games at home. the 22 posi bracket I think is fantastic, because I say this in many videos, I love players who are $1.20 in that area, so don't be put off by the yellow. But I think when you can ask a player like Hugh McCluggage or Dane Zorko just a little bit under what their usual bracket, I was very tempted to include both of these. McCluggage, we just spoke about, probably going to cop 50% chance he'll cop the Drew tag. I just think he's been more damaging than the Bergman tag. He's been a bit more damaging than Neil. And Zorko, I don't really have a reason for. He is great. There's no one taking his kickouts at the moment still. Yeah, I think he's going to finish this year strong.
Yeah, and if anything, Gardner coming in, Fletcher going out, it helps him.
Yeah, so. I think so. Yeah, I really like...
for 22.
I know, I really like Zorko. His misses have been like 20, 21, and he's hit
if next leg in would be that, I think.
Yeah, I think...
No more, it's not they want James, they want you to fucking chuck extra legs in.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's like, but I could have a 6, 7, 8 leg multi.
I could have a 10 leg multi with everyone paying $1.10.
Yeah,
like, that's what they fucking want, because it's just like, no way that's going to happen.
No. So. We spoke about all these guys. Connor Rizzi. Goal scorers, I mean, Willie Rioli stands out.
Question without notice. Georgiades for 2.
Question without notice. I will update this. And just quickly pausing and starting again. We've got Mitch Georgiades down the bottom here too, $1.55 for 2+ goals. I have been very bullish on him because he is leading the marks inside forward 50. He's having a lot of shots at goal. So these 1-goal games, I should have actually opened this in the meantime. He's actually having a lot of set shots, scoring shots every game.
That's his biggest criticism. He can't fucking kick. Like, what is it? The 7 goals was 7 goals.
So he had 11 shots?
Yeah. And what did he have last week? 5 goals what?
5 goals. Oh, he had 7 shots. That's actually pretty accurate for him. So there's only been 1 game this year. 1 game, and it was the first game this year against Collingwood where they got pantsed. There's only 1 game where he's had 1 scoring shot. Every game this year, he's had... I was going to say 3 or more. There's 1, 2, but there's 1, 2 game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So in fairness, like $1.55, I'd much rather Hornet for a 1 goal.
Yeah, actually, yeah. And he was tax subbed last week, right? He's just
and it was a pure precaution. So.
Yeah, no, I have been very bullish on Hornet for a goal in past.
And if he's going to spend more time in the forward line, like we think,
yeah. No, nice. All right, let's move on. Oh, anyone else? Sorry.
No, that's me. Good.
No, nice. The last game of the Saturday, the St Kilda Hawthorn game. So as you can see, guys, I haven't bet on this. I will get another bonus bet thing or whatever today when I record this. I did all these last night. So, but these are the players I would bet on at the time. Oh, here, this is where I was experimenting. I don't know if I'll do this, but this is their plus minus bracket. Form verse bracket, but you can see I was trying to come up with an idea. So this column, I explained it before, but everyone for just coming on to this game. For instance, Josh Battle, he is averaging 19.1, and we're asking 10 posies from him, right? So he's averaging 9.1 more than the bracket. So this might be a thing we do later, but it'd be really cool, like, if we can line up just green, green, green. Actually, this is kind of how I got Connor McDonald, right? So these colors are a bit faded because it's kind of subjective. Anyway, but Connor McDonald, just 12, asking for 12 posies. He's green value, green form, and he's averaging 3.2 over than the bracket. So it's just, that's what this column is for this game. I'm just experimenting with something. But everyone in the bet, we have Connor McDonald, we have Josh Battle for 14, Wilkie 15, Bradley Hill 16, and Wangani Miller, who has probably been my favorite 25 plus player, like almost of all time, because he has had 1 miss this year by 1 posie, and no matter what happens, you can't write him off.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's he's the best player in the comp to watch almost at the moment. He looks like. I
think he was on 2 posies at quarter time, and he just will rack it up late, or if he gets a head knock or a rolled ankle, he's coming back and getting the footy. He's been fantastic.
Yeah, really like that one. Really like that one. We'll ask you, where does Windy go?
It's so odd because I thought, obviously that game against Bulldogs, Ross Lyon was very stubborn, tagged him all game. But then the game against Freo, I was like, look, I'm not going to bet on Brayshaw and Sarong because Windhager's going to go to one of them, no question. And he didn't. He played on the wing. He played his own role. I don't know what to think at the moment, but you can tell by my bet I haven't included any Hawthorn. I haven't included Jai Nuke. I don't know, but like I don't really bet on them anyway. But I don't know.
I think it's got to be Nuke. He likes the smaller guys though, like Nick Dacos and Nocky Neal's types. Like
Look, he might just play his own role again, because if he's not tagging Brayshaw or Sarong, and St Kilda almost like won that, so I think they're just going to leave him to do his thing again.
If it's anyone, I think it would be Nuke. If it is anyone, so yeah.
Nice. Actually, it's so look, dude. I've highlighted like Marby or Chol. Like
no, we're not betting on fucking Chol. I'm sorry.
For 10, Jono, Jono's like losing his mind when I showed him this morning. It's like so crazy.
Those sixes are staring me in the face. We're not betting on that.
It is someone who can go missing, but yeah, I like players a bit more consistent. But hey, look, $1.30 for the Charles Royce to kick a bag against St Kilda.
What did he kick 5 last week?
That was the North game, yeah.
Yeah, and I think Gunner kicked 7.
Oh, it was wild. In the 12 posi bracket, Connor McDonald we've included in the bet. Look, Connor McDonald being a small, high half forward, he's obviously behind the pack of Jack Inovan for posies, Dylan Moore, but he does what he does. Like to have one miss in his last 10 games of one posi, every chance.
Yeah, really like that one. I like that one. Like he's
and we wouldn't like it otherwise. Like, but for 12 posies, yeah, that's very good.
Yeah. Moving on to the next bracket. There's a guy there that I reckon I like.
Hmm?
No, not quite. It'll be his next bracket. Don't worry.
No, we talk about it.
Where is he? Where's Sicily?
Oh, okay, so he's $1.11 there. Are you maybe thinking 18 or 16 bracket or?
I was wondering if we could get him because Weddle's out.
Oh,
Weddle's
okay.
gone.
And Sicily
Weddle's gone for the year.
I know Sicily was injured, but I feel like some of that as well was to just, I don't know, get his head right.
They were fine. It was almost like he didn't have a spot in the team anymore. And now it's like, wow, Weddle's gone. He has to play backline, doesn't he?
Yep. No, so, I think so too. So,
I don't like that. I thought we maybe get some decent value in the dollar. I wouldn't go anything higher than a 15, 16, but it's probably not enough value. So, yeah.
Well, otherwise, some players who have been a bit more consistent, who are playing a similar role but on the other team, Josh Battle, again, I've liked for 15, but if I can take one
revenge game.
Exactly. Is this the first time he's played Saints? Have they played him before?
I believe it's their first game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that is a great opportunity for him to just piss in 14. He's had one miss there with 13. I think he's fantastic. Mason Wood has been a favourite, but this is why I have this column here, right? Because this column here shows how much they're averaging more than the bracket that I'm asking them to hit. Mason Wood is averaging like bang on 14 posies. I know some of that includes games when he was half forward, but I just would like a player like here, Josh Battle, averaging 5 more than what we're asking him to get. Look, $1.25 obviously is not as good as $1.40, but just for someone who
I think they'll need the bigger boy because he's a pretty big fucking wingman, but they might need the bigger boy around the ball as well against these like Connor Nash, Newcomb, Warple. They probably need a bit like McRae's are like just a bit smaller and stuff. They might need some support around there with some size.
Yeah, so, look, I like Mason Wood, but his ceiling is just very low. I think is a short way of saying that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, let's move on. Dylan Moore was tactical sub last week, and I believe that still counts his score, that 15. I never include.
I have no idea what's going on there though.
No, it is very weird. But usually I don't include sub games, but I do include tactical sub games because it's an actual active choice. It's not an injury or something. So yeah, that 15 is from when he got subbed off.
But people who said that it was like, oh, the game was dead, they were just resting him. He was not getting fucking near it, was he? Like as far as I'm aware, what did he get?
No,
he got 15.
I did watch that game. So he had 60% game time, 15. He did look good, and he's had a decent month stretch, and just purely because Hawthorn are just absolutely pantsing north, by opportunity he gets a fair bit of it usually. And just the reason why I've got an eye on him, because I bet on him a lot last year. He started off this year way more inconsistent. I'm talking about sub 10 posi games, 20 posi games, but just of late he's hit a bit of form, and if he's getting 15 in 59% game time, I like.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Windhager we spoke about. Look, we're unsure if he tags or whatnot. If he tags,
he's definitely good. Yeah. I like him more when he tags.
But I mean, he got 21 last week and he wasn't tagging. And he had 2, like, I watched a bit of footy last week now that I'm back in Brisbane. He had 2 head knock opportunities and still came back. He's strong. He's a bull. He just wants to play. I like Windhager. I'm very surprised I didn't include him. But, I mean, just the player below, Cal Wilkie, he's 10 out of 10. averaging 6 more. Like this is why I do like the form guide, because it's like I can just kind of tell Cal Wilkie's averaging more, same value. That's why I'm not picking him.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, we'll keep flying through. There's a lot actually from the 16 plus. Bradley Hill, who have included. It's his first game back for a while. His bad games are usually just in the mid-teens. So I think St Kilda still
I like if he starts the game. I love it. I just obviously just keep an eye out for potential sub.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just keep one eye on it, I think.
Yeah, that's some of the risk you play with the old boys, but Bradley Hill started, he had a very quiet game. Oh, actually, was that? Yeah, he had 6 positives in his first game, but aside from that, he's looked...
Yeah, I think he's fine, but let's just keep an eye on that one. But I think I do like him. If he's starting, I love it. So.
Yeah, and if any bets change, I'll do a post on the YouTube video down below or at post section. Yeah, we'll definitely keep you updated if something changes. Josh Ward and Jack Steele, players that I, again, couldn't quite justify for 20 plus, but if you can get them for 18, look, I'm highlighting them. Well, again, I like just looking at this page where you can see like from 18 to 30 plus range. I think it's really
Naz, and that's fucking bad.
Yeah, I mean, look, Jack McRae, he had attention in those 17 and 19 games. I think it was he had attention, I remember, in those 2 games, but since he's been back and he's did he have something to do with his ribs or something? He wasn't a hamstring. He was out for a couple of weeks.
He's yeah. I think it's his chest.
Yeah, but since he's been back, yeah, he's looking great. $1.28 I like for Jack McRae. Goal scorers, none I really like, but and especially when they're versing St Kilda, typically like to just try and grind the other team and keep it low scoring. But yeah. All right. Anyone else?
No, that's all good for me. Let's move
nice.
on.
First game of the Sunday, we have Sydney versus Freo. So you'll actually see in this first bit, I've actually included a player that's not in blue highlight and is red odds because they're under $1.10. I don't like those players. And just to justify that was to get over to the $3 mark, and it's the same amount of legs I like. And as you'll see as we go down, there was just no one else there was no one else I liked. I feel like my hands were tied, guys, I swear. But speaking of the ones we did include, Matt Johnson for 14. He's 1 game off being 10 out of 10, averaging...
Chad Water for 15.
Yeah, like, just shut up. We'll get there. Justin McInerney for 18.
I wonder who's getting lock of the week.
Justin McInerney for 18. He has just been a huge step up this year. Playing the wing role, also rotating on mid, and
they're looking good.
And Heaney and Warner will likely go forward. He's not going forward. He will be around the ball. Luke Ryan, this is another person who benefits from this bracket change. He's been way too inconsistent for 20 plus. He's too short for 15. Give him 18 posies, $1.32.
That's pretty good.
That is great. He's 1 game off being 10 out of 10. Fantastic. And then the last player to round it off, Hayden McLean, has had 1 miss all year, and it was last week. So get the fuck in my slip. I think Sydney Swans still have just a little pulse that they want to try and make finals. I don't even know if it's realistic, but this is SCG.
I don't think they'll make finals, but they'll fuck some teams up.
I think that's it. They've got their whole team back pretty much. They want, they want to just fuck some other teams up. You're right. So anyway, that's the bet for this one. Anyone you want to talk about for any of these earlier brackets?
No, not early on. I am intrigued later on if we're going to keep going down. Probably Goulden. Let's just look at Goulden.
Oh, you're skipping right here. Wait. Actually,
fuck all these dogs.
Anyway, there's someone I almost highlight, like Will Haywood. It's so, like, again, I know Jono's just literally thrown up in his mouth right now, but like a player that I can bet on for 10 posies, it's crazy. I think Sydney will play well today. Tomorrow.
Wagner.
Wagner I've highlighted. If he is off half back, I think
this is crazy that now every player is considered as.
I know. I actually really like it, but again, we're treating it as we're just opening. We're seeing we've got way more options. We're looking at all the variety. We're not picking more players. So, Corey Wagner. If he's half back, I like. If he's tagging, maybe, but not as much.
Even Bolton for 14. That's pretty good value there.
Luke
Jackson to Ruckman, but he is playing as a midfielder now, kind of in a way. So don't hate it.
Johnson, he's a great winger for Freo. His ceiling is pretty good. So I actually had a personal bet on him last week. where I swapped out Mason Wood and put in Matthew Johnson. I know they're for different teams, but they're versing each other. And Matthew Johnson, if he's averaging 19.2 posies on the wing and $1.22, it's fantastic. That is great.
Yeah. Obviously, we've got to worry. Jimmy Jordan, he'll be going to someone from Freo.
Well, that's what I think I'd go Brayshaw or Sarong. But Sarong, actually, we'll get to them. We're very close. 15 plus, it's the same people. I like Shai Bolton because he will usually average over 15, and he just got 15 like 20 seconds before the final siren.
Yeah.
If he misses, it's not going to be 13, 14 posies. It'll be like a stinker. 16 plus, we're starting to see some form like Chad Warner. I could have included Chad Warner for 16 plus. I know he's playing a lot more forward, and he doesn't have to get as much of it now when Errol Goulden's getting. You
could have risked the extra touch. James.
Yeah. Probably should have actually. And Luke Ryan, he's teetering here, but I just think you can definitely get him. I've highlighted Warner, Ryan, the same players here for 18. I think this is actually a surprisingly good bracket. Just for 2 posies off, you're surprised what how much better form and odds you can get.
Yeah.
All right. So now, did you want to speak about Goulden? Is he in the 20?
Yeah. Let's have a look at Gould's. Like $1.15 in the 20. Yeah. See, this is the problem where everyone's already jumping on the name, isn't it? Like straight away. Like he's had one game where he's gone above 20, and look at it, how short he is. I know he had 30, but look how quick we are to fucking pile on.
And that was in That was in like 3 quarters essentially.
Yeah,
his first quarter,
which is great, but that's also a worry, isn't it? Like,
it is. But what's great as well from a punting point of view, you don't write him off because he's always a strong chance. But this is where I think this bracket really helps. Where Errol Goulden, I think, is too short for 20, but I've highlighted him for 22.
Yeah.
Because he's $1.26. He's not averaging like the world on fire. Just remember, this is 2 games back. He only just was getting his feet ready for the first game back, 18 posies. But yeah, as Johnny was saying, great against the Doggies last week, even in a loss.
Yeah, Jago Mira has been doing, like, he's not quick enough to go to Goulden, right? But he starts on the wing and he has been doing a bit of run with roll, so I'd expect him to follow Goulden around.
I did think that O'Meara's back and he has done a bit of a tagging role in the past. Actually, that kind of makes me like Wagner more. Anyway, but yeah, Goulden, he's just an anomaly. He's a winger who can average like 25 plus, and does a tagger really do that? No, because a tagger plays the mid role, like around stoppages, whereas Goulden is just gut running. So it's we'll see.
Yeah.
Speaking of the other tagger, the Jordan one, I haven't highlighted Brayshaw or Sarong. Brayshaw only just hit last week with no tag. Sarong had probably his worst game of the year. I know he's got a 50. Well, I think he got attention in that game, but he definitely didn't last week. Just had a stinker. So it just gives me a little bit of worry to include either one of them, especially when there's going to be a tag. And as you can already see, we're up to the goal scorers, and I like Heaney. He's $1.20. I think that's fantastic value against Freo in a game.
That's especially when he's kicking 5 last week.
Yeah. If anything, I would probably put in Heaney and take out Chad Warner for 15. But yeah, the point is we're down to the goal scorers, and there hasn't been that many players I like. Oh, we brushed over Jordan Clark. I do like Jordan Clark.
Would you, just a question, like you've gone McLean route.
Mm-hmm.
Would you sacrifice the 8 cents for Heaney?
Yes, to answer that question, but the only reason I like Hayden McLean is because he's been on my radar and he's coming off his first miss for the year, and I really treat a player coming off a miss. So Heaney coming off 5 goals compared to a miss.
Yeah, it could be a bit of correction the other way.
Yeah, so that's the only reason I see it, and we saw it as a great example. Just literally comes to the top of my mind. What's his first name? It's Joel Frazier. Yeah. Who had his best
the Bond Junior.
Yeah, pretty much. He had his best game of the year against Sydney 2 weeks ago. He had like 23 posies, a goal or 2, and then the following week he gets like 13 posies or 12 posies. Barely sees it. He's out in the wing. It's just like I would much rather bet on Frazier the following week after the loss, after he's missed. But anyway, I'm rambling. But yeah, I like both of those options.
Cool.
Yeah. Anyone else or last?
Paddy Boss.
Your boy. I'm sorry I didn't highlight him. I do like him.
I'd
like him.
That one.
Yeah, you're right. I like him even more when he's not in the ruck. So $1.36 where he's going to be predominantly forward. I like. Wait, wasn't he suspended or is he back? Or
is he suspended? Is he?
Wait, no. Oh, for some reason I thought he was suspended for like 3 weeks. Or is that already happened? I don't know. Is he in the lineups?
Maybe it shows my knowledge. Paddy Boss is on the bench.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, I like
and he's not
Voss.
even listed. Yeah, I do like Voss. Why did I
Yeah.
think he was suspended? Anyway, yeah, no, I like him too. All right, moving on to the last game of the round, Adelaide versus Melbourne. Oh, we are taking advantage of this different brackets at the moment. Again, haven't placed the bet. We'll get a bonus bet strategy when we have more of the tokens or see what happens beforehand. But an interesting one.
Riley O, fucking yes. Sorry, I'm looking at reading the first bracket.
Jono sees a highlight of Riley O'Brien. We are betting on Riley O'Brien. No, I'm kidding. It's just... Anyway, Kay Chandler, another sort of surprising one. He has only had one miss this year by one posse. Again, someone who has never, ever once crossed my radar for betting. Never until this, where I'm like, oh, he's averaging almost 5 more than what we're asking him to. Only one miss by one posse. Sure, you're not doing anything wrong to get in the bet this week. So, taking advantage of that. Harvey Langford, spoken about plenty of times. Great. They got to get the kids in there. Like, he is the future of the mids.
He's not playing midfield though. It's the only thing.
No, but he'll play. You're probably looking at his CBAs are low, but he'll play sort of like half forward or on wing and be around the ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Peatling, this is another great bracket. 2 inconsistent for 20, 2 short for 15. Get him for 16 posies, $1.22, 10 out of 10.
Nice.
I think his one miss was that is one of the juiciest ones. I really like that one. Worrell, again, this is fantastic.
Just on Peatland's going at 70% CBAs as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what's Rankin? He must have dropped then.
Yeah, Rankin's... Yeah, they dropped Rankin down to 32.
Yeah. I spoke about this in the review, I think. Yeah, Rankin had 1 touch in that last quarter. So I like Peatling more for the footy now than Rankin. I was very bullish on Rankin early this year, but I've switched to Peatling.
They might just want a bit of hardness in there at the moment.
Yeah, and Peatling's probably got a better tank. I think Rankin's more of a spark player.
Yeah.
Josh Worrell, it's so great because I thought we were going to lose him because he was playing so good. I thought he was gone from us from the 15 plus. No, you're here in the 16 posi bracket now, Worrell. So I think that's fantastic. Christian Petrarca for 22, 1 miss. Yeah, look at the 9 out of 10s, 10 out of 10s. I think that's great.
Yep, love it. Now let's get on to the real talk of the big Riley O.
Look, I'm highlighting Riley O'Brien. I feel like there's going to be some people out there who are going to bet on him, but I think is it?
He's playing Max Gorn, so
yeah, okay, I'd probably rule him off there. Oh, yeah. He's had 2 5.
Unhighlighted.
Yeah, what was I thinking?
Love you, Riley O, but sorry, mate.
Anyway, Kate Chandler we spoke about. 12 posi bracket, probably no one. Riley O'Brien.
Riley O'Brien.
If he hits, but yeah. Anyway, someone I do like is Isaac Cumming, but his misses have been 10, 11, 10, so he's very close. He's averaging almost 3 posies in what we're asking, so the 7 out of 10 isn't quite generous, but I've liked what I've seen from Isaac Cumming this year, playing on the wing at Adelaide.
Alex Neil-Bullen, old club matchup.
Oh yeah, true. I do like that, and he's 1 cent off like $1.20, and he'll most likely get to $1.20 before the game.
Yeah,
I do like that. 14 plus Cozzy Pickett's. I think that's great. I'm surprised I haven't included him, but against Adelaide, I don't know. Is it at Adelaide Oval or MCG? It's at Adelaide.
Yeah. I know, cause I don't like betting on Cozzy. Just sometimes he lights it, and then sometimes you're like, oh, you haven't touched in 2 quarters.
Yep, he will do that. He will, and surprisingly, I know Adelaide don't have a tagger, but he also has the potential of getting tagged and shut down. So
Trent Rivers. No, sorry, not Trent Rivers. Fucking, who am I thinking of?
Clayton Orr.
Rivers on his own team. Yeah, Clayton Orr will tag him.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're thinking of like Neil Bullen as a kind of shutdown? Or...
No, because he's a forward. I'm trying to think who it would have been.
You know what was crazy last week? I don't know if you saw the game last week. Max Michaelini played a shutdown role on Vloston and he kicked like 3 goals. That was insane. So I don't know if that... Oh, actually, that could happen.
No, because it's a forward.
No, but he never usually plays in the forward line. It was very odd. So
I don't know, maybe... Cozzy's the guy you got to stop. It's the proven tactic. You stop Cozzy, you win, kind of, right?
Into the 15, you can see here, Peatling and Worrell just not quite enough just to get over the line. Berry, I was bullish on Berry, like very bullish. I was betting on him for 20 plus, and then he fell off, but it's good to see he can still get 23. So
his midfield minutes the last month are solid.
Yeah. And there's no Matt Crouch, there's no new inclusions. I feel like this is what Berry's role is, to get 20 plus posies, but 15 plus. he should be getting that easy.
Yeah.
Saligo hasn't missed all year, but he's had a couple of 15 posi games, so just keep that in mind.
He's such a like, I'm in form, I'm out of form type player. Like obviously like the 15, but like you can see when he gets on a run, it can go like 25, 25, 25, and then it's like 10, and then it'll go down again, and you're like, okay. So
yeah,
I think he's just too young. He's still young, and he's building that tank up still.
And plus, when Peatling's getting a lot of CBA minutes, and Rankin's getting a lot of the footy there, Dawson's popping off. It's just hard.
They did drop his minutes. That's the lowest. He had his lowest CBAs for the year.
And if he got 15, look, I still really like him.
Fine for 15.
Yeah.
So.
But then just when the player below, Harvey Langford, I know he's had one miss there, but he's averaging just a little bit more footy, and I just like. He's got more opportunity, in my opinion, as well. I think Harvey Langford will be around the footy more than just Jake Sligo.
Yep.
Gawn had his maybe second worst game of the year. I think the worst one was where he got publicly aired out for his shit off the field.
Yeah, okay, Riley, he's only got Riley O'Brien, but he's no good.
and he versed Jack. I'm forgetting all the first names. Jared Witts. And Jared Witts is exactly. He's a ruck killer, and Max Gawn got 14. So I think that is great value for Max Gawn for 14. I mean, you could also bet on him for. Sorry, this is the 15.
We've had Max in there for 15s.
No, we've had him for 20.
Sorry, for 20s. Yeah. I mean, so like if you're getting him for 15, fuck.
Yeah. You look at Ed Langdon's fall off. He's down 8.3 posies over his last month. Like ever since that tagging role, even when he's playing on the wing, I don't know, hasn't quite looked there.
Yeah, it's gone.
Anyway. A couple of other players there that you can consider. Onto the 16 and 18 posi bracket. Jake Bowie and Rankin. Actually, you'll see in the next bracket. Oh, why don't I highlight Bowie? Yeah, I like these players. And I was going to say... Oh, no, I haven't included Bowie. I was thinking about him before. But Rankin...
Bowie for 18. Fuck yeah.
And his two misses have been 17 posies. I really like Bowie.
Yeah.
Anyone here that you want to speak about, or
no? I think we covered all the ones above. Like Bowie's probably Bowie for 18 is crazy.
Actually, I'll scroll down one more. Max Gawn there, $1.57, 9 out of 10, coming off against the ruck killer game for 18 posies. I think it's a great chance.
Yeah, get a lot of marks around the ground. So yeah.
Anyone from the 20 to 30 posi bracket?
No, not really. Rory Laird's okay. Don't mind that.
I do like Petrarca for 22. He is Melbourne's ball winner. I know there's been a bit of talk, like he's really out of form, dropped off, but like it's hard. Melbourne.
Yeah, I think you're right. The other one though, on the other, Clayton Oliver, I just don't like it anymore. I don't think we've included Clayton Oliver since he's come back, have we?
I've highlighted him here for 20, but you're right. I think we bet on Clayton Oliver early this year, but that's just because he is an accumulator. But there's been times where, look, he's got 13 or 16 posies, or he's just hitting 20. I don't know.
He doesn't look like he's interested. He doesn't want to play there anymore. He wants to leave.
Unless
if there's an injury pops up, then this would be good. But until we see like a Petrarca go out or something,
Yeah. No, I think so too. But for the meantime, I'm going Petrarca for 22. Rory Laird. Actually, I've highlighted Clayton Oliver, even though we just spoke about not that bullish on. But yeah, he's only averaging like one more posi than what we need. I don't really like it. Goal scorers, Isaac Rankin, 9 out of 10. He's $1.28. And we were speaking about how he's not getting as many midfield minutes. Peatling's creeping in. I think Rankin is every chance for a goal, especially at Adelaide Oval. Against like a bottom 6 team. I think Adelaide will really try and solidify some top 4 action here.
Yep, sounds good.
Nice. Anyone else you want to speak about?
That's all. I think that's it. Let's just roll back for our locks of the week.
I've been a little less bullish about the locks of the week, actually, but we'll go through. We'll do it one more time.
We don't have to then.
No. We can have a look. We'll just do it here just for fun. For this one, I think mine's Peatling.
Peatling, 100%.
Yeah, 16 plus. I think that's
good
fantastic.
Value. Solid.
Peatling, I really like there. We'll make our way back. I'll just get rid of these. Just
go to the top of each one.
We're not doing Warner.
It's not Chad Warner. It's Luke Ryan.
Oh, surely. Yeah. I like that one. One game off being 10 out of 10, averaging 4 more. I like that one.
Yeah.
Game 7.
Ooh. Don't have to do it if we don't want. Mine would probably be
Mine would be
Battle.
Wayne Miller or Battle against his old club. Wayne Miller just has so many brownie points for me where he can just constantly...
We can go Naz. We can go Naz, yeah.
Well, we should also do a little, like, maybe colour code. Like, who's our favourite lock? If this is yours and this is mine.
And then we can check who's better.
Yeah. No, I do like that. But fuck, I'll back Battle with you for, against his old club. And his one miss has been one posi. I do like Battle.
Yeah.
Game 6. Oh, this is a juicy one. We're almost at $4 odds. And yeah, I like this one.
You like Berry. You always like Berry. So yeah, we're going to go Berry.
Yeah, you read my mind. And the thing is, what's exciting for me is I've liked Berry all year for 15. I'm so excited for this opportunity. Berry for 18 is his bracket, I reckon.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Game 5, 2 more to go. This one's interesting because it just doesn't look that appealing here because there's a lot of red or yellow. But who would you think? I think I have my player, but it's very odd. Like, oh.
It bangs.
Well, I do like him, no, but I think just Bailey Smith for like I'm highlighting someone for 30 plus. I just think his shit games, he gets 28 or 29. I think he's bouncing back against a shit Richmond, and yeah, Bailey Smith for 30. I think is my
we'll go Baz. Mine probably would have been Grind, but yeah, I think Baz. We expect him to bounce back if he wants this big game. Go Baz.
The only reason I would, I like Baz. All right, last one, which is the first game to start us off. Ooh. None actually really stand out.
Bodie.
I was about to say, Bodie Ewan. Yeah.
Yeah, Bodie.
Yeah, I think Bodie Ewan for 12. Yep, I like that. Holy heck, yeah, it's so cool. Anyway, so Jono and I will... oops, what the fuck's Jono? There he is. Oh, that's an old misses. Let's get rid of that. Anyway, Jono and I will do the recaps. We'll do the bets and stuff from here on. I'm back home. He's home. All our schedules will line up. So
back to normal. So hopefully we have a great run for the back half of this year. But you can see we're already up like $2,000 or something. So it's been great buys. Hopefully bring on some more wins. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys next week. See ya.
Guys. Bye.